Track wrestling here in Colorado Springs with Air Force coach Sam Barber. Sam, this is heaven on earth back here. The views here are spectacular, but we're going to take a little tour of your facilities. Let's let you kind of take it away with some of the talking points that you want to address here.
Well, welcome to Colorado Springs, and welcome to the Air Force Academy. We think it's a pretty special place. So, yeah, we have, backdrop is incredible. We have the Rampart Range behind me. Eagles Peak is the big rock face. Stanley Canyon, is famed. Coach Bachman used to run up that, sprint up that when he trained for the ultramarathons, and we still use that today as our team. But as a team, we'll hike up to the top of Eagles Peak. We'll run that. We'll run Stanley Canyon. So just here we have on base, 18,000 acres is what we have here on base, which is incredible. It's just a great environment for training. I talked about Eagles Peak. We talked about Stanley Canyon. The Falcon Trail is a 13-mile trail that's great for its world-class mountain biking, but great for running too. And then we have our athletic facilities, what's called Down Here on the Hill, with our soccer stadium behind me, our baseball stadium over here, practice fields for soccer, baseball, lacrosse, track and field over there. The football team practices here in good weather. And then we have our Holiday Athletic Center over there that is our indoor football field. And then the big white black building, we'll have a chance to walk through that a little bit later today, is our cadet gym field house. And it's our cadet gym. So incredible facilities. 4,000 cadet athletes here at the Air Force Academy. That includes every single cadet at the Air Force Academy. And every afternoon they all have to work out as part of our physical mission here. So we have great facilities to make sure we're meeting that physical mission of training our future leaders.
Been here 10 years. What's the drive like coming into work every day?
Yeah, it's a little bit of like pinch yourself and like, hey, is this really my life? Is this like, do I really get to work in this beautiful place? And 10 years, and I've never like not looked up and like, man, this is incredible. So, every single day, for the entire time I've been here, just kind of driving in like in awe of our beautiful academy and the backdrop we have of the Rocky Mountains right here.
Well, let's walk around a little bit here. Let's. Where are we going next? Where do you want to go next?
We'll head into the cadet gym here. We'll head into the cadet gym here, and we'll take a look at our cadet fitness area, and then probably head down to the. Usually save the best for last, but we might end up there a little bit sooner than the rest. Our cadet fitness center. This is one of 3 different weight rooms that we have in the cadet gym that we use for all our athletes. Again, we have 4,000 cadets here at the Air Force Academy. They have to meet the physical mission. That includes our intercollegiate athletes. That's our wrestling team. So our guys that come in here sometimes and lift. Again, as you can see, we got great facilities for lifting, cardio up top, anything you might need up there, TV. You guys can cut weight up there because they can watch the TVs. And then we have this great program here called Falcon Fuel here. So it's pre-workout and post-workout nutrition. So this is for all our athletes, all 4,000 at the Air Force Academy, plus our guys too, and then we have extras in our locker room as well. But this is one of 3 world-class facilities that we have for helping our guys get strong and stay fit. So if you can't get strong here, I don't know what to tell you. There's plenty of weights to lift up and put down.
How often are you guys in here?
So 4 days a week in the preseason, and then 2 to 3 in season, depending on our competition schedule. And then when we switch back over to 4 days in our secondary season. But yeah, lifting is a big important part of our program here for our guys. Obviously injury prevention, but trying to be as strong as we can be and maintain a really healthy body composition as well. So this is our training area, and it's we have incredible medical support here for our cadet athletes, for our guys. So as you see, we got plenty of room to take care of guys, tape them, give any kind of treatments we want to give them before practice. But we got great hydrotherapy back here, X-ray machines where we have our orthopedics. They can come down and give evaluations. Our doctors that are actually active duty doctors in the Air Force, they work with us. They come, they give us evaluations, x-rays, a few stitches, some of those things. We can get prescription if we need some medication. That, and we have a rehab room over here, but just world-class medical support facilities, anything we need to keep our cadet athletes healthy. And we take care of our people. We invest in them. As you know, we invest $489,000 in each one of these cadets to be here, and that does, it shows up in the medical care they get too. So a lot of great support here. They're on their own zero deductible full coverage insurance of TRICARE as cadets, as members of the military. So it's just world-class medical support that we have for the guys. And obviously we hope we don't have to use it, but when we do, got incredible support for them.
What's the hydrotherapy room look like? Can we take a look at it?
Yeah, let's take a look at it. I think it's open. But I think it's it's great to be able to have hot tubs, and we have hot tubs over here, cold tubs, pool, just a lot of great stuff. In our rehab room, we have zero gravity treadmills, just a lot of great things and modern ways of treating guys, so that we can, doesn't matter what their injury is, that we're going to be able to probably very, very soon after your initial injury, we're going to be able to get them back doing something, to where they're working on their maintaining their cardio. Anthony McLaughlin, he had some hip issues last year for the last 2 years, and we spent a lot of time doing hydrotherapy with him, training him in the pool, because he can only wrestle about 2 days a week. So our medical staff really stepped up and really helped out Anthony McLaughlin, but also Alex Mossing when he was getting ready to train for the final X and the high ankle sprain, and just world-class medical care, and whatever we need, the resources we have them here. So it's great. Whatever we don't have, we also share with the OTC. They bring their athletes up here for some of the things that we have, and we go down there as well. And that includes our sports science lab, which we may get to take a look at too, with DEXA scans and oxygen tents and concussion study. A lot of great tools. It's one of our team meeting rooms. We don't use this one as much. This is primarily football space, but we do some stuff in here. We have bigger gatherings. We have a team captains enhancements program. So we have a program that we're kind of working on our team captains and enhance their leadership of their teams, build some cohesiveness between the different programs, and kind of connect the different 29 sports. And primarily we meet in this space here. But that's a pretty cool, unique program, is that team captains enhancements program, and our guys really like that. And I get to be engaged and involved with that with two other people, Colonel McGuire and Colonel Ramsey. So, but we use this space. It's a good space. IT, great technology. Some great graphics, just working all the time to try and improve, the usability, and just make our spaces nicer so that cadets enjoy spending time in them.
What does the team captains enhancement program, what's that entail? Really,
it's about teaching them how to lead where they live. So obviously we're a leadership laboratory, being at the United States Air Force Academy, but the opportunity to be able to learn how to lead well where they're spending a lot of time, on their sports program. So they're probably their greatest leadership responsibility in their 4 years here will be when they're team captains. And instead of trying to relate that to some kind of military example, we use sport. We use sport, and there's no better thing to do than to get those 29 young leaders together and have them talk and share the challenges that they have on their teams, and really help them to see those challenges as opportunities. And that's really what we do. And then have each other as resources. I think being a captain sometimes is a lonely job, where you think it's you against your teammates, and you're the only one that's kind of trying to maintain the standard. Well, it's great to get these 29 leaders together and have them like, oh, well, hey, wrestling's dealing with this, football's dealing with this, swimming's dealing with this, and find out that, hey, they're dealing with similar challenges, and that you have support in this group. So, and then just giving them tools to where they can lead better. We brought in a panel of professional athletes last year that was incredible. They include, Tracy Kreidinger, who's an University of Iowa guy, plays for the Broncos here. Matt Lindland came up and spoke. And we had 3 or 4 other Olympians that are professional athletes. And again, being in Colorado Springs, we have great access to professional athletes from the Olympic Training Center, or you can go to Denver and you have all the major league sports up there: basketball, baseball, football, hockey, that we can draw to, and we have a connection with all those programs. So great unique program, and this is a venue that we spent some time.
How do you select your captain?
Well, we kind of have an application process you go through. You show some interest in wanting to be that person. We let them lead in the spring, so we don't have any captains in the spring. We're just looking we expect every guy on our team to be a leader and see who steps up. And then we'll do some official interviews in the fall, and then the team votes. And if it falls in line, the captain and the team's vote fall in line with the values of the institution first. They got to support the values of our mission of our institution here at the Academy, but then also our program. And just they have to live out those values. And if they can do that, and then we'll support the vote of the team, and they can become our team captain. But it's important for us to have great leadership, and it's also important for us to have leadership that's bought into who we are as an academy and who we're trying to be as a wrestling program. So what we can't have is a team captain that has his own agenda, that he wants to create his team. It's like, well, you came to the Air Force Academy to be part of who we are, and we want you to grow and develop within those parameters. But we're not going to change our core values of this place and what we're trying to do here and develop in future future officers for the Air Force, and we're not going to change the vector of where this program is going to go as well too. That's set in our vision statement, our mission statement, and our core values, and we're going to base decisions on those things and not on tactics and tendencies or personalities.
What are two or three of the things you're looking for?
Hard work, embracing hard work, and then a real strong desire to excel, and I think that part of it, we just want to see guys produce results and be great. I think that part, we want to get over that hump. If it's one thing to write it down on a piece of paper as a goal, but crossing that line of making that decision of action and executing it and achieving the goal, I think achieving results is a big thing for us. Hard work, gratitude, we use the word gratitude a ton. Overcoming adversity with gratitude, you're going to get faced with adversity. That's just the nature of this sport, and that's the nature of athletics. It's the nature of what we do here at the Air Force Academy. So, developing an attitude of gratitude when you get to be able to be in those, when you have the opportunity, when you have the opportunity to be in those tough situations.
Is that the primary mission for your program? Is just developing leaders, you think? Is that?
Oh, heck yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's what we're here to support, the mission of the institution, and that's our sole purpose at the Air Force Academy, is to produce leaders for our Air Force, produce second lieutenants for the Air Force, leaders of character and integrity. So no doubt, we're just trying to enhance that and develop it through a world-class wrestling platform of our program, and then and really enhance it with our RTC. But no doubt, we're trying to use wrestling as a tool to enhance the leadership and character development of future leaders in our Air Force. All right, Clune Arena, so this is where we wrestle our dual meets. This is where we have all our home duels. It's a great venue. We fill up, about most of this lower bowl, averaging 600 to 700 right now. Big thing, we just became a ticketed sport at the Air Force Academy. So for the first time in the history of the program, we sell season tickets. We sell tickets to each one of our events, and trying to build a brand, build excitement around it, associate value with our program, so that people, they come here and they can see world-class wrestling. I mean, we wrestle a great schedule. Big 12, we have 4 home, 4 away. Next year we'll bring in UNI, Oklahoma State, Northern Colorado, Wyoming, and Cal Poly. Plus we'll host the All Academy Championships with Army, Navy, VMI, Citadel, and the 3 Division III commissioning sources as well. So we bring world-class wrestling to Colorado Springs, and our product's getting better too. So we really think it's a great value to come see world-class wrestling here in Colorado Springs. And Colorado Springs is a great wrestling town. We love Colorado Springs. 27 different high schools here in town. It's a blue-collar town. The Olympic Training Center's here. It's a good wrestling town. So we really want to grow our fan base here locally. And the Colorado State is a good fan base too. 18,000 people go to the state tournament every year. It's a good wrestling state. So we want to become the hometown team of Colorado Springs, and we got a great venue for it, Clune Arena. We shut the lights down. It creates a great atmosphere. We got great new graphics in here. Scoreboard lowers. We dim the lights. It's a good venue for some world-class wrestling.
You said you want to increase attendance. I mean, everybody wants to increase attendance, right? But what kind of things are you guys doing to bump that number up a little bit?
Well, getting out in the community, I think that's the first thing. I think that people know you. You can ask people to come, and you can do social media, and you can have events. But I found out for us, we'd be able to grow it. And one thing that's really worked out is with myself, plus our staff, plus our cadets are going out in the community, and we're building relationships with people. And those people are coming in because they actually know the kids, they actually know me, they actually know they have a personal relationship with guys in the program. And we've taken our attendance from around 150 people up to 600 in a 2-year average. So we can keep that kind of growth going. It's great. We'll double head sometimes with hockey. So hockey's right behind us. We'll have hockey and wrestling at the same time. And Frank Serratore is our hockey coach, world-class hockey coach, incredible guy. And quote of the year last year when we had a doubleheader of hockey and wrestling, when we were out doing the radio show together, he says, "Hey, if you like violence, come to Clune on Friday night and watch hockey and wrestling." So we're going to continue to do that and pair with hockey too. This is our indoor track here, so we train here quite a bit, especially during season. We'll get over here when it's a little bit cooler outside, maybe a little bit icy. We'll bring our guys over here and we'll do some track work a couple times a week. Great space for us to be able to work out. We have the track, we have the indoor field where we can do sprints, and then we got this beautiful mural behind us that has our honor code and our core values on it as well. Besides that, we'll take the PFT here, the physical fitness test here. Cadets are required to take it one time a semester if you're an athlete, or 2 times a semester if you're not an athlete. But it's pull-ups, standing long jump, sit-ups, push-ups, and a 600-meter run. So they get a grade for that. It gets calculated into their overall performance average here at the Air Force Academy.
For people watching at home that can't see what is written on there, the honor code, the values, can you share that? We're going to zoom in a little bit, but
yeah,
I don't know if our camera's going to be able to quite pick that up.
Yeah, so our honor code is we will not lie, steal, or cheat, nor tolerate those among us who do. And that's a cadet run honor code here at the Air Force Academy. And it's the values that we live to. Obviously, if we're going to be leading other people, we need to lead them honorably. So, you know, obviously we don't have too many issues with lying or stealing. Every now and then we'll have the occasional cadet make a poor choice and cheat, you know, on a 10-point quiz. And at that point, they're held accountable and they're given an opportunity to get their integrity back in line with their values. And then the bottom of it, our core values of the Air Force Academy: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. And that's at the center of everything we do here, and we pursue it every day. Yeah, so welcome to the Air Force Academy Wrestling Room. So 4 full-size mats. You know, we think it's a great training facility. We carry a pretty good roster of about 45 guys. So we need the space. And more importantly than that, we really need the space with the RTC. So we have our guys up here, plus our, you know, the guys from the prep school come up, plus the OTC guys, you know, the AP guys, and then Jaden Cox. And then if we have any airman athletes in here, we have 4 guys this next year that'll be in the World Class Athlete Program. That they'll be wrestling for the Air Force, and they'll be paying them to wrestle as their job in the Air Force. One of those athletes is Alex Mossing, who was part of our program last year and just got done wrestling in Final X. So we'll have those 4 guys will be, you know, 4 full-time postgraduate athletes in our RTC, and then we're going to be announcing another guy here in the near future that's a really good guy that just graduated from a top 4 team, 2-time All-American. He's going to be working with us as an athlete in our RTC, and our director of ops. Super excited about that. More to come, and we'll tell Track Wrestling about it first, but not quite official yet. So excited about that. But when we have our RTC going, we can have as many as 60 guys in here training at one time. So having 4 full-size mats, and then some overflow rooms that I'll show you too, in our combative center of excellence is awesome. But we need the space for sure. And then weights, you know, just to be able, if a guy wants to come in and get a lift or cross-train, or if a guy has an injury and he can't be on the mat, the fact that we can all be together and we can be training together is an important part for us.
There aren't a lot of programs that can have a reigning world champion step into the room and train on a fairly regular basis. What has it been like to have Jaden Cox in this room?
I think, you know, it's been huge. I think he raises the bar. You know, the guys obviously get to see how he trains, and we have an example of what that looks like, what excellence looks like in training for a world title, for an Olympic title. So seeing Jaden train here, and he wrestles with Dustin Kilgore, our volunteer assistant, a lot. So I think it's been incredible, and he's such a generous and kind guy that he invests in our guys too. You know, he'll come in and he talks to them occasionally, and he watches our competitions, and he has some feedback, and he's a little bit invested here. So it's great. But with Jaden comes Coach Jackson too. You know, another world champ, and he's a guy that runs practice in our OTC, and you know, since Coach Jackson's been out of town with some of the developmental guys, Coach Russell and Coach Zadek have been up here too. So that part of it, you know, the RTC with our relationship with the Olympic Training Center, you know, I think if you could come in here, and we don't do a very good job of publicizing that. And again, Jaden's not an RTC athlete for us. He has another affiliation with other people, but he does do some of his training here. But so we don't really kind of like hang our hat on Jaden, but he's definitely here and he's making an impact in our program. There's no doubt about it. And I think if you could see what we got going on in RTC between our guys, the OTC guys, and you know, airman athletes. We had the All Air Force team here as well, so there was 20 airman athletes that were training to compete in the All Armed Forces against Army and Navy. Those guys were here with us as well. So we have this commitment to trying to get to the highest level, and if we can keep doing what we're doing, keep having the same people engaged that we have in our wrestling community here, like Dwayne Goldman, like Kevin Jackson, like Bill Zadek and Joe Russell and Matt Lindland and Gary Mayab, and our guys, there's no way we don't jump levels for our guys, being around those people, seeing the level, and you're starting to see our guys take on a little bit more of the persona, the commitment of what they're exposed to because of the great relationship we have and because of the RTC. And we have an incredible board. You know, with our RTC, we have a board of directors that local and some guys that aren't local, but, you know, just the impact that that's making in our program is huge, and what it provides and what it opens the doors up to our program for is incredible. And again, like, we got to do a better job of kind of like being able to lay that out so people can see it, but we're going to have 5 postgraduate athletes in our RTC. All right, the OTC, which is the EAP program, which is 8, you know, high-level athletes that are training, getting ready to transition to college, and then our coaching staff, you know, which is world-class and just became a lot better with Joe Johnston being added. And we're super fired up about him and what he's going to bring. We'll talk more about that. But then the Colorado Springs wrestling community being part of what we do here too, with the OTC coaching staff, and then Dwayne Goldman is here, and he's really engaged and involved. So there's the resources we have, and you know, kind of opening the room up and allowing those guys to be here and invest in our cadet athletes. Very, very unique. I don't think there's very many other opportunities where you can find the world-class education we're offering, the career opportunity when you graduate, plus, you know, the ability to wrestle in a Power 5 conference, be affiliated with our RTC, and pursue the highest goals in wrestling.
You want to walk around here a little bit? Show
Yeah,
us some
sure.
of the stuff you got on the walls.
Yeah, a few different quotes. I think probably the first stop is, you know, we have TVs. We're trying to use technology a little bit, you know, so we have 60-inch TVs. We're trying to use those a little bit more. Haven't done a great job at that, but trying to grow our investment in technology and how we use it. All Academies is an important event for us. We talked about it. It's been around since the mid-90s. Sorry, yeah, the mid-90s, and it's an important event. It's, you know, it's an event where we can kind of go out and compete against our brother and sister service academies in Army, Navy, VMI, Citadel, and so it's a benchmark for us. If guys win that, it's an important thing. And then we won it as a team in 2015. You know, I think that was my second year as a head coach, and we hadn't won that in 15 years prior. So we're excited about that. We'd like to get back to winning it again, you know, but it's the good thing for the health of service academies is that, you know, Army, Navy, Air Force, we're all getting better, and it gets harder and harder every year to win that. But the overall health of service academies is great, and it's attracting better athletes for all 3 programs, so we're excited about that. Scholar All-Americans, we strive for our guys to be, you know, world class in everything. And again, who you are anywhere is who you are everywhere. We talk about that a lot in the program, and we don't want those guys just striving to be excellent in leadership or academics or athletics. We expect them to be the best they can be in all the different areas, and that's pretty hard to do here. Getting a 3.2 at the Air Force Academy and then meeting the wrestling requirement is really, really pretty tough. And so it's incredible that we're able to have. We had another one this year in Garrett O'Shea, and we've been able to have one consistently every year since 13. So proud of that. Wouldn't be who we are. We didn't have this on the wall, right? So that's what we're fighting for. That's, you know, that's why it's in the center of the room. That's why it's over top AF. And I think just the immense amount of pride that we have of being who we are and what we're going to go do. That, you know, there's nothing more important in here than the American flag. We talked about it a little bit, but our affiliation, obviously, the NCAA, the Big 12, trying to compete at the highest level of USA Wrestling in the Olympic stage. Alex Mossing, second in Final X this year. All right, I think that's huge for us, being a mid-major program, a service academy. We have a guy that was 2 matches away from representing his country on the biggest stage of the Senior World Championships, and he'd done that already on the U23 World Team 2 years ago. So we're getting there, and then this is the area, you know, that is where we want to make the most growth, and is All-Americans national champions. You know, and our most recent was Kevin Hoy, lost to Steve Mako in the finals in 2003. But as you can see, in 2002 we had 3 All-Americans, and we were in the top 25 of the NCAA tournament. And the Air Force Academy is the same place. It hasn't changed since 2002. So we just got to create a great environment and find the right guys and push back to that level where we're putting guys on the podium. And I really feel like we're making some great gains there.
What would you say, 3.9, 30 ACT to get in?
that's what
For a cadet?
for a cadet. Yeah, with athletic support, we have some little bit of room in that area, and we can be stronger or weaker in some different areas. But you got to be a great student to come to school year. That's the number one thing. If anybody's looking about coming to the Air Force Academy, is first and foremost you got to take care of business academically. So, and outside of that, we're trying to compete at a very high level too. So, we don't have a guy in our room right now that was recruited that's not a state medalist. Most guys are state champions, and with that, they have some national accolades too. But 4 of our last 5 recruiting classes have been ranked in the top 25 by one or another. The different sources out there for recruiting. So we're getting some of the best athletes you can get with great academics and guys that have service on their heart that want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And then our guys that have qualified for the NCAAs, and we want to continue to grow that number. You can look to the left, you can see in the 60s where we had some great teams under Coach Kitt and then Coach Bachman. 1991, they were the WAC champions. They were the first outright team to win a conference championship at the United States Air Force Academy. And then the transition to Coach Sherritt in 2006, we were part of the Western Wrestling Conference. And then in 2015, we became members of the Big 12. And it's been a little bit of a challenge of us to get to that level, get guys to the NCAA tournament. But as the Big 12 is growing and getting better, and we've went from 27, I think, national qualifiers our first year in the Big 12 as a conference to where we had over 60 this year. And I think that trend's going to continue to go up with the goal of catching the Big 10.
And there's some names on there that are doing some pretty incredible things for our country
I think
too,
that's
right?
the cool thing too, is you look at these guys and the recent guys, and Dane Robbins and Josh Martinez and Jesse Stafford, who's just back here. He's doing some incredible things in our Air Force as a combat controller. But you go back and you can see all the way back to the 70s and 80s, where we still got guys in this 1991 class. Guys are general officers in our Air Force, and they're making a huge impact in the world. Really incredible for our guys to hear the stories of what they've done and how their time here. Every one of these guys that comes back and talks about the success they had in the Air Force in life talks that how impactful it was to be part of this program and what wrestling taught them. So that part of us is, we think it's incredible, and allows us to continue to drive and do what we do. And the guys that kind of see why it's important that we invest, to be the best we can be when we come down here for practice every day at 3 o'clock, because we're going to learn a lot of things about ourselves and what it takes to overcome adversity and to produce results and be successful that we can use later in life, and especially for the Air Force.
You mentioned Joe Johnston coming in.
Yeah.
How excited are you to get him on board on your staff?
Fired up. Yeah, I think, we opened the job and we had an incredibly talented pool of candidates. We had big shoes to fill in replacing Bart Horton. So, for me, it was probably one of the most significant challenges I faced as a head coach here at the Air Force Academy. It's the first time I'd really done that. Had to hire, go out and really, look for somebody. And we just had a lot of great candidates. And Joe, once he started to read his resume, he stood out, and it took some convincing a little bit, but he fits who we are, and I think once we showed him what we are and what we do here, he started to see that a little bit too. But he's extremely high character, high integrity guy. He wants to compete at the highest level. He wants to win. We want to win. That's what we do in the Air Force. Fly, fight, win. That's what we talk about. So he's a perfect fit for our program, and I think our program's a great fit for him too. And he's going to have an immediate impact on our guys. He's an athlete's coach. He just gets along with the athletes. He bonds. He connects. He can make guys believe in himself. He's been in some great programs. He's going to have best practices. He knows what it looks like to run a world-class program. And so he's going to complement our already great staff of Chris Howman and Dustin Kilgore. And I really feel like we're going to take this program, and move it to a higher level. And Joe's going to be a huge part of that. So this is our Center of Excellence for Combatives. We're the Center of Excellence for Combatives. Everything that we do and gets taught here at the Air Force Academy for all 4,000 cadets is also taken out in advanced techniques and taken out to our 300 airmen in the Air Force too. But we're able to use this as an auxiliary room. This is used as a classroom until 1,500 each day, till 3 o'clock. And then after that, if we have overflow, if we want to split practices, or we want to do individuals, then we can bring guys in here. And we have 3 rooms of the same size here. So down here in this same area with our wrestling room with 4 mats and these 3 combatives rooms, we have 10 full-size mats versus space, that if we need to utilize that, we can to do different types of training. And we do use it quite a bit, especially with RTC practice, where maybe one day we're going to have our folk style practice, our regular collegiate practice, but then we want to bring some other guys over here to focus a little bit more on the RTC side. Our team room here, so as we walk in, we're just kind of finishing up this, or we're still working on this wall, but just another area where we can kind of honor the accomplishments of the guys in our team for different things, academic All-Americans, same names you saw in the wrestling room, NCAA qualifiers, our former head coaches, most notably, Coach Kit was here from 58 to 75 and did an incredible good job. I mean, he was essentially the first coach, but not officially. And then Coach Bachman was here for about 20 some years, 76 through 2006, with a couple years off in between where we went out and did some different things. But these two guys, their impact of the program has been incredible. So our All-Americans again, and then we're going to honor our top team performers. And then on the other side of this wall too, we're super excited to complete this, but just honor our general officers. They go out. We have about 8 guys that have gone on and they've accomplished earned stars while we're in the uniform. We have some great civilian leaders. We have some people that have won military awards such as Bronze Stars, Flying Cross, that stuff. And then we've had 3 members of our program that have died well in service to their country, and we definitely want to make sure we honor those guys too. And then our team posters for the year. Coaches' offices here. So it's pretty accessible. It's right across from the hall, from the wrestling room, and then our team room here where the guys come and hang out. A little bit of a mess right now because we got basic training going on, and the guys come down here and they have to keep their gear here. We're not allowed to move them into the locker room yet, but we got great recliners for them to hang out. We use this a lot for team meetings. We use it for recruiting. We use it a lot for study hall. We have our guys academically, and then we just started this last year where we're gonna have pictures of guys once they leave our program and what they're out doing, in the Air Force for our country is pretty cool. And we talked about this earlier today too, but having practice up on the Trotso, which is pretty cool. We do that every year. They got the chapel in the mountains, the F-16, and you can't see it in the back, but there's a piece of steel from the World Trade Center too. So pretty cool place to have a workout.
Well, hey, Sam, thanks so much for the tour. Anything else for us?
No, that's it. I just want to say thanks again for our partnership with Track Wrestling. It's our first year this year, live streaming our duels. We thought it was incredibly impactful. People loved it. They loved the fact that it wasn't behind the paywall. The quality of it was incredible, and we're looking forward to continuing a great partnership with Track Wrestling and Sport Engine.